Hello guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Awelma Kengere, and this will be my first journey into YouTube. Yeah, so today I'm going to talk about things I found interesting, shocking, or things that I found new to me when I came to the US. Oh, for those who don't know me, I currently live in the US, but I didn't grow up here, so I just moved here about 2 years ago. And so, when, let's say, you're preparing to come to the US, there are those things that are like, oh, the US is like this, like this, like this. Yeah, and I also had, I had, like, when I came to the US, I know in my mind I was like, okay, it's like, obviously these things happen in the US, this happens, and also there are things I didn't know about that I know right now. So let's go. So the first thing that I found when I came to the US, the first thing that I found shocking, I remember my flight landed at around 4:30 p.m. and it was in December. Like, when I was walking when we were on our way coming home, it was already getting dark. So I thought maybe my flight delayed. Then I was told, nope, it's just that the sun is already set and it's already night. It's dark already. And I was like, how is it dark when it's almost 5 p.m.? It's only 5 p.m. How is it dark this early? And I was told, yeah, that's how things happen. The sun sets very early. Well, I didn't really get it at first, but when you live here for some more time, you get to understand that there is this thing they call it daylight saving. So daylight saving happens around March, where we let's say at the onset of March, at night. It happens most of the time. It happens at night. We go an hour ahead. Let's say there's this day I was awake, so I monitored my watch, and I was like, if we are at 1 a.m. at night, and the clock is supposed to move to 2 a.m., we'll move to, instead of moving to 2, we'll move to 3 a.m. And that is saying we've moved to daylight saving, meaning that sunsets will be at 5:30 a.m. and sunrise will be at 5:30 a.m. and sunsets will be around 8:30 p.m. So that is what they call daylight saving. And what comes to daylight saving, if you don't have curtains that are heavy enough to block the light, you're gonna be up by 5:30 because the light is already coming inside the room. And yeah, just imagine. So, and when we get to November, oh, one thing I forgot to say, when we enter daylight saving in March, we move from winter to spring. Yeah, it's like the end of winter. And now when daylight saving comes to an end, it's always around in November. And now this one, we fall back in time. Instead of moving from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., it's like we are done with 1 a.m., we go back to 1 a.m. again. So if people are sleeping, that is when they have an extra hour of sleep. And now how this changes now, it's when the sun doesn't set that early. The sun doesn't rise that early. It rises around 6:37, but it sets very early. From 4:30 to 5, it's already setting. And from where I come from, I have people back home who I call often, like my relatives. When we are in daylight saving, we are actually 8 hours behind. And now when when daylight saving ends, like when it gets to November and we fall back in time over here, now the country is ahead of us with 9 hours. That's how it works. That was one thing I really found, oh my goodness, I was so it's interesting. I really don't know how that works. If someone really knows how time just moves forward and time just moves backward, I don't know. I would like to say those are the mysteries that we don't know, the mysteries of how God created this world, and I find it so interesting. Okay. So the next thing is, okay, I didn't expect this one. When I was I come from Kenya, so when I was in Kenya, I used to use Thika Road Highway. Those from Kenya know it. It's like a major highway in Kenya. And during the rush hours, we always had traffic jam. I mean, you could stay for hours without moving. So when I was coming here, I was like, oh, I'm finally done with the jam. But I didn't think that it's I mean, rush hour is everywhere. In the morning when people rush to work, it's rush hour. When they're coming from work, it's rush hour. Yeah, there is traffic jam too. That's one thing I didn't expect. And it's not bad. It's not a bad thing because people have cars and will have traffic jam. But the good thing is that they have options. You don't have to use the highway if you feel like you don't want to be in traffic jam for so long. So the other thing is that I like how their emergency contacts are like 911. Whenever you're in trouble or you're feeling sick, I'm told that the emergency cars are usually like in your home, let's say in 5 minutes. And I really like it because I'm thinking someone is really sick and they really need help to get to the hospital very fast. And I'm like, that is so good. Those little minutes that you save to get to the hospital could actually be a saving moment for someone, and I like that. And one other thing I like in regards to that is the fact that when you're driving and you hear those sirens go off of the emergency vehicles, it is like compulsory, mandatory for every car to move out of the way. On this side we drive on the right, so you move towards the right side of the road and give them leeway to pass. I know, yeah, I think other countries do have that, but I didn't see it. So for me I found it very good. I was like, this is so nice. People here are privileged in that. So another thing I found, the roads here, something for real I found is that I used to think there are no rough roads. Okay, we have smooth roads, but there are those that are not really maintained up to what I thought. But when I got here, you can actually get a car puncture on the road if you're not careful. But one thing I came to realize is that people who make these roads are also human beings, and it's not like this world is heaven. I shouldn't have expected too much, but yeah, the roads are not that. They are good. I mean, for me, where I come from, they're 98% good, and I feel like states are different. So my experience is coming from the state that I live in. If someone lives in another state, they probably have a different experience over there. And yeah, if you're living in another different state, I would like to hear your experience in the comment section, please. So the other thing I found interesting, we've never run out of tap water. It's always flowing. It's not rationed. Another thing I thought in regards to, let's say, water go hand in hand with power, electricity. I thought we don't have power outage. Yeah, we don't have it. Like 99.8% of the time we have power. But during the times that we don't have power, it's because of bad weather. Extremely, extremely bad weather. That has happened like 2 times, and I've been here for around 2 years. So it's good, but the issue with that with the power outage is that when the power goes, everything is gone. We don't have gas. You can't make gas, doesn't go on. If it's cold during the cold season, the house doesn't heat up, so it gets cold. You see, so those are some of the effects that power outage brings. But it has not been so bad, because I think the longest hours that we've gone without hours are like 10 hours. It was starting to get cold. But we thank God the power came back just right on time. Oh, the other thing, which number am I? I didn't even number my work anyway. I knew there was winter, but I didn't know how cold it was. Some things you don't know them until you experience them. I knew it was cold, but how cold it was, it is so cold. Do people ever get used to the cold? Because if you came here and you got used to the cold, please tell me in the comment section. I don't know how to get used to the cold. It's so cold, and now we are going to winter. It's like I dread the season, but it's pretty. It's just the only problem is the cold. I'm still trying to get used to the cold. Yeah. And the other thing I like about this place is self-service at the stores. I like self-service. Oh yeah, they do have assisted service at the counters, but they also have self-service. I like it so much. You get to arrange your things in, there's people who like arranging. You don't put soap and food stuff in one bag. That is so good. And it's not only in stores, it's also in gas stations. The gas stations, you actually fuel your car yourself. At first I didn't like it. I was like, I wish we had people who will fuel for us, but no. But actually now I'm liking it. You just get to fuel for yourself. But I saw somewhere that not all states have that policy, like New Jersey. I don't know if they have changed, but I heard they still require for an attendant to be at the pump station to pump gas for a customer. But I like the self-service. And another thing I found, you see, during the summer season, summer heading towards fall season, those who have backyards or their own compounds and they have grown grass, you have to cut it for yourself, and you can't let it grow out. Like, you can't let it just grow and you say, I don't feel like cutting. It's like it's mandatory cutting, otherwise you will be fined. And for those living in estates, they pay estate fee for the grass to be cut. I feel that is so good because it brings neatness in the environment. One last thing that I like about, and we are going into this season, is the Christmas season. I like the Christmas season because people decorate their houses. You just see everywhere people decorate Christmas trees, or outside their house they've put Christmas decorations. They're so pretty at night. And the other thing, it's not only the houses, even the streets. Like when you go to downtown, the roads are decorated, the lights are decorated. I used to be like, wow. I honestly don't know who does the decoration, but it's pretty. I have to give it to them. It's so pretty. I like it so much. So for those who came to the US, and maybe, you could tell me in the comment section what you wanted, what you thought you'd find versus what you actually found, expectations versus reality. And it doesn't have to be those who came from outside to the US. It could also be like from the US to another country. You could explain your experience when you've gone to outside the country, what you saw there, what you found interesting, things like that. Yeah, I'll actually like to see your comments so that I can know. And if you're in another state, I'd like to know how that state is, because I've not had the chance to be in so many states. I've been only to 2 states, and yeah, I would like to know more about the other states, how they are. I hear there are states that don't experience winter. I want to know how it is over there. It's a wrap, and Before we end this video, please remember to click the subscription button and the notification bell so that you can be notified on my next video. Thank you. See you on my next video. Bye.